You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today, welcome to our weekly recap number 20.
Yes, sir, baby.
Number 20. So, a little bit different today because primarily in these podcasts, we are typically breaking down MCU content.
Yep.
But today, we're going to be heavily talking about DC.
Let's go. W.
Specifically, the brand new DCEU headed by James Gunn and Peter Safran.
W.
So we're going to be talking
W.
about it today. We got a little bit of Star Wars news later on and a little bit of MCU news to round it off. But today, we're going to go right into DC news.
All right.
So right off the bat, James Gunn and Peter Safran's takeover has been having some repercussions, obviously, when the hire of the DCEU and the DCU now as a whole. And it's weird, too, because people are, like, mad about this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm so confused about.
I mean, I can understand it, though. I mean, obviously, with the institution of DC Studios, they got to figure out what to do. First of all the DCEU movies and actors, like, which people do we want to keep? Which movies can we say stays? And even the standalones, like Robert Pattinson's movie and the Joker, like, what are we going to do about that?
Right.
I mean, I understand people, like, if you hear that, maybe that
it's hard.
Affleck's not coming back, or if you heard that Gal Gadot's not, I can understand if you love that actor. But, I mean, just the sense that we're finally getting a 10-year confirmed plan that spans across animation and, video games as well. I think it's a W.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a hard task to accomplish, and that's why they're spending a lot of time in the writers' room and discussing the plans and the possible things. And people are just, I hear people saying DC's in shambles, but in reality, DC's been in shambles the past 10 years. Yeah. And I'm just glad that they're finally having
floating, barely.
And I'm just glad they're finally having direction.
Yeah,
and that they need that 10-year plan of, like we said, it's been confirmed that James Gunn and Peter Safran are working on an interconnected universe within movies, series, games, and animation, similar to Star Wars. So that's really hype. So I have a lot of hope, and there's not a lot of options, but we'll discuss those, and we'll discuss some of the rumors going around about what's going on. And none of these are essentially confirmed, but James Gunn did say that some of them are true, some of them may not be true, and some of them they're considering. Yeah. So we'll just break it down. So right off the bat, first off, Hollywood, happy holidays. The Hollywood Reporter came out and said that Wonder Woman 3, headed by Patty Jenkins, obviously starring Gal Gadot, has reportedly been canceled.
Hallelujah.
Which makes sense.
It was on a decline for sure.
It makes sense.
The second one.
So I think that one's probably a truth one. Next one is that the rumors surrounding Man of Steel 2 possibly not happening, or possibly not Henry Cavill possibly not coming back at all.
Yeah.
This is the one that's concerning a little bit. Like, I understand, but I'd rather not doing Man of Steel 2, which honestly I don't think at this point they should. I think they should do instead. I think they should still keep Cavill, but should completely redo it.
Yeah, do a whole new movie. Exactly. I mean, obviously, you can't keep the Snyder film from the DC. I mean, that was one of the first movies, right?
Exactly, that was the first.
So you got to do something different. You got to have the new first Superman movie. But recasting Cavill, I mean, I understand he's older, and I know maybe they might want to go younger. I understand that, but at the same time, he's the people's Superman.
I mean, Cavill's just 39, and even though younger and all this stuff, he's still a great age to play this character.
He's
in
good
great shape
too. Yeah,
and I think he could still do it and should still do it. And I think if you had people that we've been rumoring about for a while, like Steven Spielberg possibly directing, and maybe Christopher Nolan being part of it as well, I think it would work. And I think it'd be a good decision of James Gunn's to keep Henry Cavill in the loop, just completely reboot his character and have him essentially play a new character as Superman.
And I would like to see a more classic.
I think
Superman.
so too. I think
not in the not in the cheesy way, but just get those stars in Metropolis. Saving people with buses and trains.
Exactly.
That might be cool.
That would be cool. More grounded level of Superman,
more grounded,
would be very entertaining and well received for older audiences as well.
Obviously, that would pull in people. And I mean, obviously they're gonna need that too with this. I mean, that's gonna confuse a lot of people with that. Maybe a new Superman film, a whole new slate. I mean, obviously it speaks volumes that DC was able to put so many good standalone projects, but now they gotta follow that Marvel format that every other franchise is following now.
Right, and they need to. They really need to.
They'll be able to do it fine. I mean, it speaks volumes. They were still competing with Marvel. They weren't up there, but they banger after banger, so
they really need to reevaluate. So next thing is the only thing that is reportedly to be safe and not going to be taken off the slate and just being kept is Matt Reeves is the Batman but which is obviously great move. Great move. So
huge news.
And not only the Batman 2 being safe, but the Batman Matt Reeves developed spin-off projects are safe, like Penguin,
on
the
HBO,
Arkham Asylum show are also safe. So my question is, do we think that James Gunn is going to use this as the start of the DCU?
I mean, obviously, that would be the easiest choice possible.
Right.
Young Batman like Robert Pattinson, and it was well received too,
Very
right?
much.
I don't see why he wouldn't. I think the only reason why he wouldn't go with Pattinson is if Pattinson didn't want to do it, or like Matt Reeves didn't want to do it.
Right.
But like that's a perfect starting point, in my opinion.
It would absolutely be. And I saw some people's like, oh no, this would be a horrible decision. The Batman needs to stay in its own universe. It needs to be its own Gotham. And you have to forget, we've gotten that. Right? We got Christopher Nolan trilogy, which is pure Batman, pure Gotham, pure his own story. We've had other incarnations like Michael Keaton's Batman, pure Gotham, right? Other incarnations that are a lot worse, but we have animated projects. That's just pure Batman. Now we've gotten that. We need a Batman of the Justice League.
I agree.
This would be the perfect one. Like, he's young. Robert Pattinson's like 36. He's perfect age for Batman. He played it well in the first movie. The first movie's great. It would be a great start to the interconnected universe possibilities. And even if you want it to be like Matt Reeves' Batman to be separate, but just bring him in for like Justice League movies. It would be just like the comics, because that's how he is in the comics. Batman's his own story arc going on Gotham, because goodness gracious, we know he has a massive road gallery.
I still don't know why people choose to live in Gotham.
But then he comes in when there's bigger threats going on, like Brainiac or Darkseid or something that he has to join in with Superman and Wonder Woman to solve.
It's bigger than the city.
Right. So that would make so much sense. And I think it'd be a perfect start for this new universe.
And it wouldn't make any sense to kind of kick it off with a whole new universe, because obviously Safran and Gunn, they're trying to make an interconnected universe, for decades, and then putting in a well-received Batman, making him not a part of it would just not go over well. I mean,
it would not.
Like,
I mean,
make it
it'd be
interconnected.
weird too, because if you, and that's my thing, is another plot point a lot of these people are forgetting is like, so you're gonna have another Batman trilogy going on, another Batman separate, and then have a different Batman in the DCEU.
I know.
That makes no sense.
I know. And if they're trying to be like Marvel, would Marvel do that? Obviously not. They got the whole multiverse, and they got, What If and stuff, but that's completely different.
It is. It is. And I think they could utilize the multiverse to answer a lot of missing questions and pieces, but the Batman being the main Batman of our Earth 1 DC heroes going into DCU would be perfect.
And I think it's a great start too, stylistically. Like just the way with Gotham was portrayed in the darker tone. I think if that's, kind of kept consistent with those projects and others.
Right. I think it would go real well.
Look out, Marvels. I'm going to say.
Well.
Look out, Marvel, man.
All right, so next piece of news is that Jason Momoa is reportedly going to be done with the character's Aquaman after Aquaman Lost Kingdom. This is a rumor, but it's a rumor that he may be recast in the DCU as Lobo. That's interesting.
I saw that. I do like him as Aquaman.
I do.
Obviously, the whole look isn't super comic accurate, but I mean, that's fine. He's a big dude. He's a swimmy guy.
He'd be a great Lobo as well, though.
He would be a great Lobo. I just feel like that'd be such a downgrade, because I doubt that they would use Lobo on like more than one project.
Aquaman's such a major character compared to as Lobo is.
Yeah, but they might try to go for someone, with blonde hair, or like I said,
younger,
if they're willing to recast Cavill, they're willing to recast anybody.
Right.
Everybody's on the plate.
Everybody's on the charts there. So, and I don't know, like, if Jason Momoa would be willing to do that. Like, that's like a paid grade too. Like, that's like
that's a big step down.
It is.
I mean, unless he just wanted to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Really.
But I don't see that, because I feel like Jason Momoa really likes doing the character of Aquaman. So I don't know. That's one thing, is I feel like I would like to see him kept, but I would understand wanting to go with a younger blonde-haired actor that could do it as well. But at the same time, I really like Momoa. So.
Or maybe Gunn's reasoning is that he just wants a whole new cast so that he can differentiate it from
the DCEU.
Like, if I bring over the same actors, what will the
audiences think?
Casual fans think?
What will people think that are so confused? They're like, but we already got an Aquaman movie.
Batman, but it's a new
so they're
Aquaman
different
with
characters.
The same guy.
That don't understand.
I mean, even if he doesn't change the cast, there has to be a clear something in the movies to show that this is new.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up there is also a rumor going around with him starting completely fresh with lesser known DC characters as to the mains, like starting with the original Justice Society, such as characters like Jay Garrick, Flash, other characters of that nature, instead of starting off with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
That's not a good move, man.
I don't think it is either.
I mean, you're coming off the DCEU, where we had, the biggest. Obviously, they didn't have Green Lantern, some of the others, but they had Batman and Superman, Wonder Woman, and they had the A-list actors playing them. Right. You can't take a step down from that.
Now, if you wanted to do it later and do like a prequel movie with the Justice Society of America taking place in like the 60s, I wouldn't deny that. I'd be okay with that. Yeah. But you gotta start off with your mainstream,
and you gotta build it up. The Avengers didn't start off with like Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
They start off with Avengers, Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Thor, some of their biggest comic characters.
Right. And that would be the move. And I agree. The rumor comes from James Gunn being such a good director when it comes to smaller characters, smaller roles, stuff like that. That's where it comes from. We have to realize though that James Gunn's not directing these movies; he's producing them. Yeah. He's running them. He's making the plans. So
it's a business,
it's different. So it's a different direction. So
big names.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to do other characters and newer stuff that we've never seen before. But
like Peacemaker.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it'd be better off to say that for later as more of a prequel kind of thing as to right on now.
Of course. I think that's a crazy idea, man.
I know. All right, next up is a Black Adam sequel is unlikely to occur, which makes sense. Ooh. I mean, honestly, poor Rock after all his hard work and marketing.
Man was cast since 2007 and then
I know.
Did you see that one tweet when the Queen died and he was like,
yes, I did.
She didn't get to see Black
She didn't get to. Oh, man.
In theater.
I know. Rest in peace, great queen. Your reign was amazing. But now you get to see the next hierarchy of power in Black Adam in theaters October. I was like,
bro, there's no way.
No way. Anyway, no way. I mean, maybe they can still use him later, The Rock, as Black Adam, but not as a movie of his own. Maybe as the villain of a Shazam movie.
Dude, I really think that, the movies that we're going to see are going to be nowhere near the level of Black Adam. Like with James Gunn producing them, they're going to be bomb. Yes, I think he could definitely bring Dwayne Johnson back. He's, possibly the biggest Hollywood star, and that'd be, just to attract everybody. But a sequel, I'm glad it's not happening. And it didn't deserve one.
No, definitely not. All right, so the next one is my kind of idea for, this is theories, of course, here, is the DCU Phase 1. What we think possibly could happen. So obviously first there's many tracks that James Gunn could take to fix the DCU.
Yeah.
First being he could either completely scrap everything, reboot it from scratch, which is a valid option.
Yeah.
Or start it from scratch with the Batman as the primary number one movie there. That's a possibility. Yeah. Another one being the Flash, use it as a catapult of the multiverse to use it as a different universe has popped up and some incursion happened, destroying there, something like that.
Yeah.
And start a new,
some of the same actors moved over.
That would be valid for that.
Yeah.
Another one being starting with the Batman, but also having Blue Beetle be part of this universe as well, movie coming out in August. Which wouldn't make sense to be that early.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still don't know why that movie even happened. Now.
I know. And I really don't think he's going to put it in part of the plan.
I don't see it, but we could. So those are kind of the options he has. Obviously, they're all not going to be easy to accomplish.
Yeah.
That is a given.
That's a big job.
And he already said he knows he's not going to make every fan happy. I mean, you're already making me happy, so you're okay. But I know that, and he knows that, so he's going to be working. But honestly, my personal favorite of those options would be to start with the Batman and reevaluate everything and redo. That would be my personal.
I think that's great. And I do think that the Flash one wouldn't be that bad either. I mean, what we've been talking about today is like the people who will be confused with the DCEU. Yeah. So a perfect way to tie in those two would be like the only character, that could bridge those two like timelines, those two worlds together. Apparently, even if the Flash is that good, and there's a huge like world change, theoretically that could work, and that might make it less confusing.
It'd just be kind of weird though if you do like
you have that baggage of bringing over people, then they're like, oh, my Batman didn't like
exactly. They have the baggage. The problem with the Flash movie as well is they could do that, but the problem again with that is Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
Ezra Miller will not come back, so they have to make the transition to where it'll be a different cast. Like
that's true.
Ezra Miller pops up in a different Earth,
yeah,
and it's a new person now,
and it's a new, new
confusing.
actor.
So I don't know how they're going to do that.
I agree. Yeah, start fresh with the Batman.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, so my idea for a possible Phase 1, considering what James Gunn's already said he's going to do, considering he's going to have series and shows and other things, I think obviously we said he should start off with the Batman,
and
then possibly do like the Batman movie. have a Superman movie, right?
I agree.
Wonder Woman movie, a Flash movie, a Green Lantern movie, and then Justice League, right? Build up through those movies. And then surrounding the universe of each of those characters, have subset shows that correspond to those universes.
Okay.
For example, like Batman already has Penguin, Arkham Asylum, maybe a Scarecrow's development project. Superman, maybe we could get a Lex Luthor project. Maybe we should get a Krypton origin project.
Yeah.
Maybe a Supergirl project in there with Superman.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, maybe we could get something
like
like
the
Themyscirians, right? The Amazons seeing their story, maybe the Greek gods' history.
The Green Lantern show.
Green Lantern would be
slap.
All kinds. Maybe we can get different Lantern cores, like the yellow, the pinks, or whatever. Maybe we can get other characters. And their other Flash, a Reverse Flash show, a Rogue show, something, and then you build off of those core characters, have the core shows underneath them that develop those characters, and then bring it all together in one Justice League.
That was beautiful.
It's a possibility.
Beautiful, man.
And then I don't know how animation would go in the hand with this.
Yeah.
But maybe a series, maybe instead of like, maybe they don't want like a Krypton movie or a Krypton series, it'll be live action. Maybe it'd be better in animation.
Yeah. I think what they'll do for animation is they'll take maybe any ideas that were scrapped from movies or storylines they want to pursue but can't put in a movie. I think they could just put that in animation. Right. It's the same character. They're animated, but now we have a lot more freedom to do what we want.
Exactly.
And get the little bigger projects to those shows.
And then if you want to have games, maybe a good idea with games would be like to do stories that don't really go with the movies, but are stories that needed. For example, Matt Reeves is Robert Pattinson's only Batman Year One.
Yeah.
We didn't get that in the first movie. Maybe we can get that in a video game. Or maybe we can get that in other directions. Okay. Maybe origins.
Rocksteady, let's go.
And possibilities there. Yeah. I think that would work. And have the voice the characters in the games.
Yeah.
I think it would work well.
That would be crazy. Rip Kevin Conroy.
I know, unfortunately.
But yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
And maybe this would be a good idea for phase 1. I don't know. But then this brings another question.
Okay.
That also hurts. What remains about other projects that James Gunn already controlled in the DC universe, being the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker? Where do those lie?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I mean, I think Peacemaker is like the easy one, right? It's just to show John Cena. Right. So I think it'd be easy whether to scrap or include him. But his Suicide Squad, as good as it was, I really feel like it needs a redo, at least with the characters in it.
Or at least don't do it again for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, leave it for way down the road.
I mean, it was so good, and it just felt like an outlier, really, with where it was.
My thing with Peacemaker is possibly bring him in, but as maybe do some type of multiversal deal or something to bring him into. I don't know.
Give him like an animated show or something.
That would be good.
I think I mean, as far as I know, they're planning a season 2.
They are.
I haven't heard any. I don't know. Listen, man, with James Gunn, making the first season, he has a lot of power with saying, what happens in the second season.
Exactly. So
he'll probably keep it alive.
It's the question. It's a lot of issues, though, with that. It's just like, where's it going to lie? Because as we know, Peacemaker was part of the DCEU. Yeah. So how is it going to translate to the DCU now? So we'll see. I mean, these are all things that James Gunn has to figure out.
Because, in the end episode, they had the Justice League.
They had Ezra Miller.
They had Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, yeah,
So, I mean, obviously Wonder Woman and Superman were shadows, so they could be recast if they needed
anybody,
to.
Yeah.
But these characters were in it, and they were mentioned. Batman was mentioned, and it was all Ben Affleck, and it was all...
Yeah, they can't do that. If they're recasting, obviously they're going to have to make that non-canon with the new universe, I guess. So
it's a hard question, too, because this is literally James Gunn's project that he created before, signing. So... It's a hard ordeal. It's a hard ordeal. Yeah. So if anybody can do it though and accomplish this, it is James Gunn, but he has a lot to do, and I'm just hoping for the best. And when he announces phase 1, which I would say he'd probably announce phase 1 of the DCU, probably come maybe September in the DC fandom or something. Because
I know he just recently presented his whole plan to Warner Brothers.
Right. Discovery,
Yeah, so we're going to hopefully see that soon, I guess.
I would assume probably later this year or later in 2023 if I had to guess. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. All right, now to make the transition over to a brief amount of Star Wars news. First being the new game Jedi Survivor got its release date for March of 2023, and it's released its new gameplay footage. It looks phenomenal.
Cal Kestis looking fresh,
Cal Kestis looks good. Cameron Montague looking great.
Yeah.
I've heard this game is amazing. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've heard it's even better than the original, at least what Cameron Montague said.
It looks like, they threw in everything in Star Wars that fans wanted.
And we know it's canon, so it's exciting. I mean, I loved the first Jedi Fallen Order. I adored that game.
It made me so mad playing it.
It's a hard game, but it's a lot of fun, and it was a great game. So I have utmost confidence in Jedi Survivor. We got the dual wield blades. It's
fire.
It's gonna be
beautiful.
Hype. I'm excited for that. Next piece of Star Wars news is the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer came out, and it's going to be coming out in January 4th. Obviously, we're doing it as a series review this time because it's animated.
Yeah.
So that's going to come out, I guess, at the end of March when the series completes. For Season 2 review. But in the trailer, again, this season does look like it's up the game.
It does look like
we have Emmett Darman's Palpatine.
Yeah.
We have Gunji. We have my guy coming back. My favorite. Anyway, my Wookiee Jedi Survivor Order 66.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
I don't know his name, but
I think it's Gunji, right?
Is it Gunji?
I think it's Gunji. I'm going to say Gunji. If not,
bro,
I
he's
love him.
cute, man. I like him.
He's the best. And I'm so glad he lived.
Yeah.
Even though his other little Jedi, young ones in that arc of Clone Wars are probably dead.
I mean, I'm sure they're fine.
I mean, who knows? But at least Gunji's okay. The best. Anyway, so he's back. Love that. And it does look better, does it not? Like you have Rex is coming back. You have a definitely up. And honestly, we have to remember, obviously Bad Batch 1 was mid. It was not that good.
Yeah,
it had some highs, had some lows.
A lot of fillers.
But a lot of fillers. But Clone Wars, same can be said about season 1 and 2 of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So
and the animation looks crazy,
it
bro.
Does, so
I don't know what they on, but they got the best animation out right now.
They do. So I'm excited for Bad Batch Season 2 coming January 4th. All right, next up is we got our first set pictures of Star Wars, the Acolyte series, and they look phenomenal.
They look
did
good.
You get a chance to see
I
them?
did, yeah. You sent them to me. Filming on set.
Yes.
The High Republic location, yeah, in like the whole robes. In the forest. It looks
got a Wookiee
cool.
Jedi.
The Wookiee Jedi.
Gunji's grandpa.
Maybe. Am I
could be?
Or maybe just Gunji's really old.
Possibly. But it looks great.
It looks great.
It looks great. Did you see the Daphne Keen one?
I did.
She does not look like her.
All right.
She's all aliened up, and they look phenomenal. We saw Lee Jung Jae's character. Looks phenomenal. Oh my goodness. I think the series is about to go hard.
It's going to go hard.
It's going to go so good.
It gave me like a big Andor cinematography vibes just from the set pictures. It does.
And it's Jedi oriented. That makes me happier. Yes.
Let's go.
Bring it on. All right.
It's going to be so good.
Next up, our next piece is MCU news. I mean, I guess you could technically say Sony news, but it's MCU news because it's Spider-Man and it's Tom Holland Spider-Man, so it's technically MCU news. So first off is being Spider-Man 4 and the new Spider-Man trilogy. We'll see Peter Parker, of course, coming to terms with no one knowing him.
Okay.
And Miles Morales is apparently going to have a big part in this trilogy and be apparently Peter's roommate. I don't like that. I like Miles Morales being in it and having a big part, but I don't like him being his roommate.
The introduction as a roommate, first of all, that's not comically
accurate. If we know
accurate,
it, technically Spider-Man Homecoming introduced Miles Morales, or at least mentioned him when the uncle dude was talking about his nephew.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like Miles Morales should be like 15, 16, whereas Tom Holland Spider-Man would now be like 2022. I feel like that'd make more sense.
And to be roommates in London, I just don't feel like it works well. Maybe just station him already in London, and he just like looks up, to Peter a lot, and
I don't
they
know.
meet up.
I just don't know how they're gonna do it adequately to the comics. Unless they do age up Miles Morales a lot and keep him the same age as Peter, which doesn't make sense.
By the way, we got 2 Spider-Man in this apartment. Like
I know.
I don't like it.
But I do like the idea of this trilogy being a kind of a transition to Miles Morales and Spider-Man, and also like Peter training him. Yeah. I like that.
I mean, they're gonna have to, Tom Holland's getting older, and he ain't gonna play him forever.
For sure. So I would like to see that, and I think that'd be cool to have him, and maybe have him bring back Don Glover as what's his name again? Not Prestige. Not Predator, is it?
I don't know.
Is it Predator?
I don't know.
His comment. That sounds horrible.
I can't remember, dude.
Prowler. That's it. Prowler. I would like to see him as Prowler. I think that'd be cool.
Donald Glover in any project is just a W.
Oh yeah, so him as Prowler would be great and stuff. Man. So other rumors also say in this trilogy is going to have a big emphasis on Felicia Hardy, which we've never gotten into a Spider-Man project.
Who's Felicia
Black
Hardy?
Cat. So that would be great addition to the Spider-Man franchise.
Put like a little, something between her and Spider-Man.
Exactly. Be great.
And then Jane gets her memory back. And she's like, no, but I loved you first.
Yes.
The whole drama.
Oh yeah, that'd be
fire.
Great.
I
think he'll definitely end up with MJ more so than Felicia Hardy, because Felicia Hardy, she's a bad cat in some cases. So I'd like to see her in that, and I think that'd be great. And the next up would be Harry Osborn reported to be in this series as well, which I think would be great. He needs to be.
They got to expand out like they are and get more comic accurate.
Make Ned Hobgoblin and then make Harry Osborn his new best friend, I guess.
That'd be fire.
Maybe Ned sees him and Harry and gets jealous after remembering.
Like, you have a new best friend.
Or maybe he forgets and maybe because he forgot who Peter was.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets powers or something. I don't know how they're going to do it. But we'll see. You never know.
Oh, man. It's going to hurt, but it would be good.
It would be good.
I got
All right, next place, even more Spider-Man news being Spider-Man freshman year has apparently been canceled. What do we think about that?
What?
It's reported.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would they do
apparently,
that?
something with the direction, the producer, apparently the show was not looking good. I don't know.
I was so excited.
I know.
And
it's not.
It's been a while since
it's
really
a rumor,
good animated.
But it's a good rumor. So apparently it's apparently gonna be canceled.
Well, I guess the fact that it's getting canceled, I guess just goes along with the fact that Marvel is looking to improve their quality and lessen their quantity. So if that's getting canceled, I think it spells good news for the rest of the projects.
I think it does.
As sad as we might be for that.
And plus, when they posted the picture of possible Rogues Gallery and they had Doc Ock that completely messed with the MCU timeline.
Yeah,
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah,
if you're having writers that don't even watch the movies, I mean, you might as well cut it. But we'll see. It could still come out, but we'll see with that.
All right.
So that pretty much concludes the news. Obviously, mainly DC. Hopefully, James Gunn leads it up with the Batman. That's my vote. And then Star Wars, obviously hyped for all the things Star Wars coming in the next coming years. And then MCU news, of course, Spider-Man 4 is still a while away, so you don't have to worry about. But there's all rumors, but exciting.
We didn't talk about the new Batman in the trailer, Suicide Squad.
That's right. That's right. I had it written down and didn't even think about it. Yeah, the new Suicide Squad game with Kevin Conroy's last performance.
Rip, man.
The last Arkham game.
Hearing his voice again was just... It was magical. I just got goosebumps, man, thinking about it.
It's the last Arkham game.
Yeah.
And it's the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. It looks
so
phenomenal.
Batman doesn't kill.
No.
That part was
this one
fire,
does.
dude.
It's
Bruh.
so good.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Good. I mean, you have 4 playable characters in this, right?
I hope it's not gonna be like Gotham Knights. Everyone just duking on Gotham Knights.
It's Rocksteady.
Yeah,
it's different.
I know
different
the
studios.
health bars. I mean, just the fact, just hearing that it's 4 players just makes me nervous. But it's different. So I'm really hoping for that Arkham Knight, Arkham City type of feel.
And the 4 characters are goated too. So it's like Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Deadshot, right? So that's great.
That's a perfect 4. I would have chosen.
I'm running
4.
Deadshot or King Shark or Harley Quinn. I may not run Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, I'm not feeling. I'll probably be doing Deadshot the entire time.
Probably Dead or King Shark would just be fun to eat people.
I know, and just like destroy stuff easier. You know?
100%.
I'll be playing that. We're playing that together for sure.
Oh, for sure.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms. So check it out. Speaking of, check out our last episode, which was our episode 19 of our weekly news recap. So check it out, and it's hype. If you want to stay up to date with all of our news, our new episodes, our announcements, check out the socials. We got an Instagram at Here's in the Moment and a TikTok at Here's in the Moment with an extra T.
Yeah, we just want to thank you all for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.